The weather is beginning to get a bit chilly here in the Southern Hemisphere. So we are wrapping up warm and getting ready for the winter months. Let's talk wool. Hi, it's Fee here, the healthy vegan author and creator of the Gold Card Vegan resource website. Now, we all love to snuggle up in these colder months with cuddly blankets and warm jumpers, scarves and hats. And so we purchase woolen garments to take off the chill. We may not stop there. We could get the woolen underlay out for the top of the mattress or sheepskin lined slippers. But do we think about how the raw product is acquired? I'm sure you all know where wool comes from, especially here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. We've got so many sheep it becomes a joke. But do you fully understand what happens to the animals for us to have our winter woolies? So let's start at the beginning with the lambs. Sheep generally only have one lamb. However, it is now common to see twins and triplets, which is more a result of genetic selection, intensive feeding, or hormones and other drugs. There's two procedures are done on lambs, usually before 6 weeks of age, and these are docking, which is removing the tails, and castration, removing the testicles. And both are performed without anaesthetic and usually without painkillers. Docking methods vary from rubber rings to hot irons, subjecting the lambs to much pain, and castration usually done before 4 weeks of age, and commonly the rubber ring method is used. I am not going to give you the details. Suffice to say, it's not pleasant. But the industry will tell you that it is necessary, although damned if I know why, as many lambs are shorn once, then end up going to slaughter for the lamb meat. That's about 6 to 9 months of age. Now, wild sheep still exist, and like wild goats, they shed their thick winter coats in springtime. Wild breeds, however, only grow wool to a certain length, meaning that wild sheep do not have to be shorn at all. Now, the lambs who haven't gone to be eaten have grown up. And remember, these sheep have been bred to have thick woolen coats. So now it's time to get them into the shed. The shearing process itself can be a painful experience. Typically, shearers are paid by the number of sheep shorn rather than the hours that they work in a day, which can mean that they will rush to get as many sheep through the shed as possible. Unfortunately, in the rush, it's easy to cut the end of a teat off. Struggling sheep can be brutally punched, and inexperienced or careless shearers can injure parts of the sheep in the race to fill their quota. Now, wool has been around for thousands of years, but then thousands of years, or even hundreds of years ago, the methods to obtain it was vastly different than modern techniques. Plus, they didn't have the alternatives that we have today. The wool on a sheep is there for a purpose. The hair on the outside, called the guard hair, is protection from the rain, and underneath, the wool is thicker, which keeps the animal warm. Now, sheep are usually shorn once a year in the spring, often just before lambs are born. Spring does not necessarily mean warmer weather. It can be brutally cold, and some sheep can die from exposure because we've taken off their woolly coat. Under normal circumstances, sheep can live for approximately 15 years, but because their wool production falls off around the age of 7, you guessed it, they're sent to be slaughtered. Now, before we leave the wool industry, here's a little more to ponder. Other byproducts derived from sheep include leather, sheepskin, These are usually used in the fashion industry, mainly to line shoes and slippers, although I've seen sheepskin for babies. I've seen it on floors and on beds. There's also lanolin, which is used in a variety of products, including a lot in the beauty industry. But it's not only sheep that suffer. So I'm going to give you a list of the different types of wool and where they come from. So first, lamb's wool, obviously, from lambs who are just several months old. Merino, from the merino sheep. Cashmere comes from the cashmere goat. Mohair from the Angora goat, and Angora, and this is where it gets a bit confusing, from the Angora rabbit, not the Angora goat. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And then there's alpaca, which is from the llama type animal, the alpaca. Animal welfare in most other countries is not as strict as here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, but there are still reasons to stop purchasing wool regardless of where it's from. Yeah, I get it. Wool is beautiful. It's a beautiful product, but sadly, animals must suffer for us to have it. There is the alternative of using manufactured products. In 2020, a new product emerged called vegan, made from a plant called the Calotropis, I think it's called, yeah, and organic cotton. So it was a blend of these two things. And this vegan wool is the way of the future. But while we wait for this new product to arrive, you can find other excellent warm fabrics on the market. Linen is a tried and true one, as are warm cotton poly blends used in sweaters. And we're seeing a lot more bamboo as well. Now, watch out for rayon, though, as it is a chemical intensive fabric. If you can find hemp clothing, you'll love it. And tencel made from wood pulp is another favourite of mine. Before you head out to the store to purchase your woolly garments, please spare a thought for the animals that have had to give up their woolen coats. So instead, look for alternatives. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to have great food, make it plant-based, and be compassionate to all animals, including humans. Bye for now.